Hello, fellow Sudokans, and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku puzzle for Saturday, the 25th of December 2021. For those of us playing the regular newspaper puzzles, of course, we are in trouble today because it's Christmas Day. Merry Christmas to those of you that celebrate it. And the newspapers don't publish, well, certainly the Guardian doesn't publish on Christmas Day, and I couldn't find the uh, um, Sudoku puzzles for the New York Times and the LA Times, but they may appear later because it's still very early here. So maybe they'll come on later in the day. But I'm sure the Guardian won't. It's a Sudoku-less day for them, but it's not a Sudoku-less day for us. I hope you're relaxing. If you're having a nice break, it's of course a Saturday, so most people don't work anyway. It's the 25th of December here in Thailand. It's not a special day. It's just the 25th of December. But of course, to those of us from the West, it can hold up some memories. I thought I'd do a bit of reminiscing before I begin with this random puzzle. By the way, today's puzzle that I've got here is a random generated puzzle from an app that I have on my computer. It's entirely random, but it's fixed at the hard level. Usually when I play this app, games from this app at hard level, they are not that difficult. Kind of equivalent to, let's say, an LA Times hard level game, or maybe a New York Times medium game or something like that. That's usually their level. Sometimes they make it harder though. Sometimes it does get harder than that. And occasionally it gets really tough. And then sometimes, as is always the case with Sudoku, it turns out to be pretty easy. So we'll get on with that game in a moment. I just wanted to talk a little bit about Christmas because, as I've said in the last few days, that we don't have Christmas here in Thailand. But Christmas is a time for children, really, and consumerism, basically in the West. I don't come from a religious family, we've never been churchgoers or anything like that, and fortunately for me, I think Britain is much luckier than America in that regard, that we don't have many religious nuts. And I've always been an atheist since my early teens, and I've disliked religion in particular. Had a grudge against religion, I think, for many years. I'm not in favor of it. But of course, Christmas certainly in my family was always about presents for children more than anything else. But our rampant consumerism is something that needs to be a little bit under control. But it's nice to spoil children, isn't it? And I was thinking that, I come from a working class family, and when I was a kid growing up, I always got the presents that I wanted for Christmas, and I had some fantastic things. I was just thinking about it earlier. Some of the most amazing presents that I had that were wonderful to me. I remember getting an electric, I'm not sure if it's electric or electronic organ. I'm not sure how it was classified. But it's the days before synthesizers or anything like that. I remember getting an organ, which was quite a very heavy thing, actually, just but small. It had a regular piano keyboard type thing. I can't remember if it was 2 octave. I think maybe 2 octave and monophonic. And then buttons that had chords like C, D, G on the side that you could push and it would play a chord. And I learned to play Silent Night on Christmas Day when I received that. I remember getting a rally chopper bike, which was, the ultimate for a kid, the ultimate bicycle. It's like an adult getting somebody who loves cars getting a Ferrari or Lamborghini or something like that. It was really quite something. Mine was the purple color, Mark II. I remember it was a wonderful thing. And another year, I remember getting a whole painting kit. I was enthralled with this woman who was on TV. Her name was Nancy Kaminsky, an American who had this TV series who showed people how to paint, and she had a book and a painting kit, and using a palette knife, and I got that. And my mum told me that she told me many times that when she woke up and found me, for some reason I had a foot my foot in a bucket or something. I was intent on painting, and I had an accident of some reason. My foot was stuck in a bucket, and just didn't remove my foot. Just carried on painting or something crazy like that. I don't really remember much about it. So it was a great time of happiness, receiving all of these things. But I just wonder if that's what really we should be focusing on. When I first came to Thailand, I can tell you, this is over 30 years ago, right? There were no toy stores in the country. You could not buy toys in a toy shop. They didn't have any toy shops. And to someone from the West, it's like, what, really? And there were very few department stores around, maybe one or two in those days. And they didn't have toy departments. Maybe you could have ordered something, but they were really it was really difficult to get. And I used to think, oh, that's so bad for Thai kids. What do they do? Until I kind of ventured out into the countryside a bit more and found out, actually, in those days, Thai children used to make their own toys. They used the natural resources around them, reeds and banana leaves and stuff like that, and they made spinning toys and aeroplanes and all kinds of things, and it was brilliant. And there used to be a TV show, I think it might still be going, there used to be a TV show showing the ingenuity of kids in the countryside. It was specifically made for kids, countryside kids, who would show their own local games and things like that, and it was really inspiring. It was brilliant, really, really good. And so, we live in a world of consumerism, and we know that we're destroying the planet with our constant need of things, but actually a bit more focus on natural resources and what's around us, and the creativity and ingenuity of children actually can forego needing to have, plastic toys and things like that, as much as I love them myself, I must admit. But, if we could modify our way of thinking somewhat, we might save the planet just yet. Okay, Christmas Day chat over. Merry Christmas to all of you who are having a Christmas, and for those of us in Thailand, happy 25th of December. Right, let's get on with our game. As I said, it's a hard level game, but I don't really know what that means. So where's our first number? First number is 9 blocking down here, 9 blocking down here, 9 across here. So that's our 9. Okay, I'm gonna head through the numbers and see if I can see anything useful. Well, certainly not with ones. No. Okay, so it is looking something like a newspaper hard level game, isn't it? Quite similar so far. We'll see how it pans out. Seeing all kinds of limitations and pairs, but not singles just yet, which is what we need at this stage to try and get some easy numbers. All right, so I'm going to have to immediately start with pencil marks, I suspect, unless I manage to see anything else. Let's examine any rows that I think where we've got reasonable number of digits or columns. Well, not many. We've got this block here. What's missing? 2, 5, and 9. Well, we've got 2 blocking here. 2, 5, 9, and something else. 2, 5, 9, and 7. Okay, so we've got 5, 9, and a 2 blocking this square. So 5, 9, and 2 are in those other 3 squares, and this has got to be a 7. Okay. Now, 7 blocks up here, 7 blocks up there, 7 goes across there, so 7 is in that square. 7 down here blocks across and 7 blocks down, so we know 7 is a pair in one of these 2 squares. Can't quite locate which one yet, but it's one of them, so let's block up this column And now we can say 7 blocking across here, and there's a 7 here blocking up. So our one empty white cell full of snow goes there. Let's see what else is on the menu. Missing numbers in this row are 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? So we've got the 6 blocking these 2 squares, so 6 is over here. The 2 just blocking that 1 square, the 8 blocking a single square, and the 4 we have absolutely no idea about, so that wasn't very useful, was it? How about, we said already this is 2, 5, and 9, nothing really going on there. Anything else we can look at? Well, this is quite tenuous. There's 5 numbers missing, which is a lot really, and not a lot to go on. 5s are here. 1, 4, 8. No, so I think let's put in some pencil marks, shall we? Let's get to it. So 1 block's up here, or 1 block's across there, so we can put a pair of pencil marks down there, and we will also know 1 is limited to these 3 squares in that block. Okay, 2s. 2 blocks this square here, so 2 is a possibility in either of those 2 squares. 2 blocks down here, 2 blocks across here, so a pair of 2s are available there. I think that's it. 3s then, 3 blocks down here, up here, across here, allowing us to say 2 3s are there. 3 blocks across here, so we have a pair of 3s in these 2 squares as well. And we have 3 blocking across here and across here, so we know 3 is in one of those 2 squares. 3 blocks across here and across here. A lot of paired 3s here. But okay, we have 3s in every segment now, but can't place a single. Fours is quite tricky. 5. Okay, so we got 5 blocking up here and up here, so a pair of 5s in those squares. Ah, good. 5 blocking up here. So in fact we have 5s in these squares, meaning that 5 that I just put in a moment ago I can now take out and stick a 5 right there. Okay. 5 blocks across here, so a pair of 5s must be there. 5 blocks across here and across here, so a pair of 5s go in those 2 squares. And that's your lot. 6 then blocks here and here. 6 blocks down here, and 6 is in those 2 squares there. Six blocks across here and across here, and 6 is in those 2 squares there. Sevens run across this row, and down this column, giving us a pair of 7s there. And as I mentioned previously, the 7 across here and down here, of course. 7s go there. That's the lot for 7s. 8s. We have 8 running down here, up here, and across the middle. So a pair of 8s are in those squares. 8 across here, 8 up here. So a pair of 8s in those squares, although they are not in the same row, unfortunately. Okay. And then 9s. I can see 9 running across this row, and up the center column. So 9 is like that. Ah, great. Now we've got 9 blocking up here. So in fact, we know this is a pair of 9 and 5. So in fact this 2 must be removed because we have just only 9 or 5 allowed here, and we can place our 2 in this square now. That's going to give me another pair, 2 blocking down here, up here and across here. We'll place 2 2's in those squares as candidates. Okay. Now about that 9, has that given us something else yet? Yes, in fact now we have 9 blocking across here and these 9's blocking across here and 9 up here. We can now place our 9 right there, and that's also 9 blocking down here, across this row and across this row. We'll put a 9 into this square here. Let's keep highlighting, I think. Okay, so now 1 is limited to these 2 squares, which means it cannot appear in either of these 2 squares, and we also have 1 blocking this square, so there are only 2 squares left in this row. So we know that 1 is actually a pair here or here. Now we had a pair of 3's there already, and so we know that we can remove that 7, because that must be, oh, go back. We can remove this 7, there we go, and place our 7 here, because this is actually a naked pair of 1 and 3. Okay. And knowing that's a pair of 1 and 3, that also might give us some more info, mightn't it? Now we can see an 8 blocking here, so now we know 8 is a pair in those squares. The other missing numbers are 2 and okay, 4. So 4 blocks here. That's good now because 4 is in a row. So now we know 4 blocks across here and down here. So 4 is limited to these 2 squares, and that's going to give us a pair of 4's down here now as well. Okay. I've forgotten what I was doing. Let's review again. So the 1's were in those squares, okay. And up here, no, don't know 1's, okay. Right then, let's continue on our journey. Okay, 3's are quite well sorted out. 4's are quite tricky still. And 2. Okay, I was thinking about something else there, don't worry. It was Sudoku related. I thought there might be a pattern there that I could see, but actually I was wrong. Once I examined it more closely, I didn't find what I was looking for. Okay, so I think we have now got to put in some more candidates, right? Any preference on where to start? No, really. Let's just continue. Let's start at the top left. Let's be kind of slightly Westocentric. We'll start at the top left as opposed to Chinese patterns of reading. So we've got 1's here. We've got 2 blocking across here and 2 blocking here. So 2's go in those squares there. 3, 4 blocks across here like this. So 4 is available in those squares. 5 is in, 6 is in, 7 is in. We're looking for 8's 8 blocks across here only. So these squares can be 8. Back along this side, 1 blocks here. So 1 is possible in those squares. 2 blocks across here. So 2 is available like this. 3, 4 blocks up here. 4 blocks across there actually is more useful. So those are 4s. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all done. Is there anything there? Hello? Is there anyone? I feel like I'm at a seance. Is there anyone there? And is there anything there? Are there any ghost numbers there? Clearly not. No ghost numbers are at home today. Unlike Houdini, I'm not going to ring a bell with my toe. Okay, 1 blocks across here, so we have 1s available in those squares. 2 blocks across the middle, so we can stick 2s there. 3, 4, 5s are in. 6 is there. 7, 8, 9 is there as well. So that block is now complete. And we'll come down to here. We've got our 1, 3. There's only 1 number missing here, isn't there? And that's the 2. And the 2, I believe, can go in any of these squares, can't it? These 3 squares. Okay, let's examine this. Oh, yes, examine this column. Found it immediately. An immediate 2, 4 pattern. That's nice. So let's get rid of the 2s and the 4s in this block. Now, there are only the 2 4s. But there certainly are some 2s to go in those squares. Let's get rid of those candidate 2s. Right, let's come back and make sure we've got rid of everything. So now we've got 1, 3, 3, 6, and 1, 6. Okay, now, noisy. This is the only 2 in this block now. If I highlight it, you'll see that's the only 2 there. So 2 must be there. We can now remove this candidate here too. And down here we can say this is an 8 because we have in fact filled in all the candidates here. So let's do that, and now this 8 can be removed, and the 8 must be placed in this square here, and we can get rid of the 8 down here. Okay, let's also get rid of these 2 8s here. Right. Okay, we also have a pair of 2 and 4 along here now. So this 2 can't be true. Let's remove it, and now it's part of a pair, and so the 2 must be in that square, and this 2 is no longer true, so goodbye. Now there's only 1 2 available in this block now, so that's our 2, and we know this has to be a 2, and the 2 here is not needed anymore. This 2 says this 2 can be deleted, and we place our final 2 here. No, not our final 2, still got 1 down here. 2 4, we got a blocking 2 here, so this is our 4, and our 2 goes here. Now we have a completed 2, and also we can see a 1 and 3 pair, so this has got to be a 4 up here because it can't be 1. Oh, we also have 1 and 3 there, same kind of thing. This now will be a 1, and that will give us an 8 in this square, like so. Okay, it's a very neat puzzle, isn't it? Nice and orderly, nice and tidy. Shall we, let's highlight again now at this stage, I think will be a good idea. And 2's down, 3's. Okay, we have 7 blocking across here, so, and 7 blocking across here, so now we can place our 7 here, and that means that this has to be a 7, and 7 is our next completed digit. Let's get rid of the candidate 7 that we can no longer use there. Okay, so 2 and 7 are now done. Okay. we have 8 blocking across here and 8 blocking down here, so 8 is a pair here. And now that we know that, we know 8 blocks down here, 8 blocks down here, and 8 blocks this square here. So we are allowed, indeed, we are forced to put an 8 in there. And that, I'm just overrode to 5 as part of the pair. So I put the 5 in, and that's a 1 now. This has to be a 1 to finish that row. This 6 blocks this square, so 6 is definitely here and 4 is definitely there. One number missing from here is a 6, I believe. And we don't have any intersecting 6s just yet. We'll hold off on it. Right then, back up to the middle part, the midriff. Now I see 5 and 9 here, and I see one other empty square, and then I look across and say, hey, there's a 9 here, so that can't possibly be a 9, so that must be a 5, and our 9 must go there, and then over here that's got to be a 5, and then now we only have one remaining 9 left, and 9 is now complete as well. 2 numbers are missing here, 1 and 4, I think. Okay, now we have an intervening 4. So 4 goes there, 1 goes there. That means this is a 3. 6 is here. Very easy finish, I think, now. I don't think there's going to be anything to slow us down. This says 4 or 6, so this has got to be 4 or 6. And now we have a 6 blocking that, so that must be our 4. Our 6 must be here. Our 4 is here. Up here then, that's a 6 now. 4 is here. 4 is now finished. One number to complete this column looks like a 5. The missing numbers here and here are 8 and 6, I think. Okay, so now we have a 6 blocking this square, so 6 is here and 8 is here, meaning this must be 8. And the number to finish this row is in fact a 3. And the number to finish this column or this block or this row, whichever way you look at it, is a 6. And then now we have a 1 making this square a 3, and that puts a 1 here. Down here we have 3. And the final number for Christmas morning is 1, and that will say goodbye to this random hard level game, computer generated. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great Christmas day, whether you are drinking too much alcohol, eating too much food, watching too much television, listening to too much jazz, or anything else you'd like to do today, or giving too many presents. I mean, I know I ranted against consumerism, but you know, it is nice to see kids having fun and enjoying themselves on Christmas Day, and kids of all ages, I suppose. Right? Okay, if you've got anything in your stocking, I hope Santa brought you something. Father Christmas, we call him in England, brought you something in your stocking last night, and now you're pouring it into a glass and getting slightly merry with it. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.